Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. It's a Canadian game. Brought to you by Molson Canadian.
It's April 12th, 1988, and the Toronto Maple Leafs have arrived at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, facing elimination in their Norris Division semifinal series with the Red Wings. This is Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. Steve Yzerman, Adam Oates, and Colin Campbell, kingpins for the Detroit effort. Eddie Olczyk, Tom Fergus, and Boreas Salming, some of the stars for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hello once again, everyone. Welcome to Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV. I'm Joe Bowen. Well, we have a classic for you tonight for a variety of reasons. It is Game 5 of this semifinal series in the Norris Division with the Detroit Red Wings. The Leafs won the opening game of the series in Detroit 6-2. Things looked rather rosy. They lost Game 2 6-2, but were heading back home to Maple Leaf Gardens. And then disaster struck. In Game 3, they lost 6-3. And in Game 4, it was an 8-0 debacle at the hands of the Detroit Red Wings. The ice was littered. Booze cascaded down from the graves. In fact, a Gardens usher resigned on the spot when he threw his hat and coat onto the ice. So the Maple Leafs head to Game 5 at Joe Louis Arena, trying to get back some of their composure, not to mention some of their dignity. We have that action for you here tonight. The starting goaltenders. Jumpers will start Glenn Hanlon in goal with Greg Steffen backing him up. And John Brophy will counter with diminutive Alan Bester to try and prolong this series. It's April 12th, 1988. It's the Leafs and Wings in Game 5 of their Norris Division semifinal. And this is Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV.
This portion of Leafs TV is brought to you by J.B. Goodhue. Built for work.
Hey, Tyler, where you been all day?
I'm a cardiologist.
Again?
Yeah, it's my pacemaker. Been reacting with my game console.
No kidding.
Yeah, the other day I was rescuing my 13th damsel from the dragon's lair. Freaking heart stopped. So you going to the Halloween dance on Friday?
Nah, I can't. I'm prepping for a colonoscopy.
Ah.
They don't want you seeing how well a 50 pounds lighter yet 37% stronger platform performs. They're nervous you'll discover how the new suspension makes bumps virtually disappear. And they sure don't want you to know how 8 more inches of legroom adds comfort and makes you one with the machine. But most of all, there's one thing they really don't want you to see.
Ski-Doo dealers invite you to discover the full 2008 Ski-Doo lineup at skidoo.com. Ski-Doo, there's nothing like it. In the interest of providing you with the best programming possible, Leafs TV wants to know what you think. Give us a call at 416-815-2440 or go to mapleleafs.com and contact us with questions, comments, or suggestions. Leafs TV, official station, Leafs Nation.
For the Detroit Red Wings, Bob Probert is certainly a force. His best offensive season is also a year that he has almost 400 minutes in penalties. Steve Yzerman is not in the lineup, though. He's out with a knee injury. For the Maple Leafs, this is the final playoff series for one of the greats of all time, Boreas Salming, in a Leaf uniform. And Mark Osborne is a member of the Maple Leafs. He's arrived in the NHL as a second-round pick of the Detroit Red Wings in 1980 after playing junior hockey with the Niagara Falls Flyers. After being dealt to the New York Rangers, the Leafs acquire Osborne for the first time for Jeff Jackson and a third-round pick. He would later be reacquired from Winnipeg by the Leafs for Lucien Deblois, and over 919 games, Osborne scored 212 goals and totaled 531 points, and he joins us tonight on Leafs Classics in a game that, boy, it's got a lot of implications, I guess, Ozzy, as you look back at April 12th, because 2 days earlier is maybe the most embarrassing moment, certainly in Leaf history. I guess if you went back maybe to the game where the Leafs got beaten by Boston 11-0 back in the 60s, it was something of an icon in that department. But here's a game. You win Game 1 in Detroit, come back to Toronto, split in the series. Looks like things are going all right. Lose Game 3 and then 8-0. What was going through the bench and your minds with that?
Well, it was a memorable night, of course, as you mentioned. I mean, going through, you wanted to hide under the bench, Joe. I mean, that night was probably the most embarrassing moment in my career, let alone being a member of the Maple Leafs. Everything went wrong, and I mean, I've often talked about this where you're playing and you remember people throwing. I mean, you as a fan going to the game and getting a puck in the stands was awesome. Like everybody wants to get a puck, and pucks were going in the stands. People pucks back onto the ice. People were throwing their precious jerseys onto the ice, and
the usher resigns by throwing his coat and hat on the ice.
I remember him coming to the glass and taking his jacket off and his hat and whipping it on the ice, and it was like, this is just so hard to believe. It was so humiliating. You wanted to crawl under the bench and hide.
Now, you go into the dressing room after this. John Brophy is well known as a coach that wore his emotions on his sleeve and was very vocal and very intense. Was this the time to come in and tear a strip off the wall?
No, I don't even remember John even coming in the dressing room. I don't think he even had to make an appearance. He was probably even more embarrassed than we were as players, having to stand behind the bench and watch that. So I don't remember John coming in, and he was known for his ranting and raving,
and he hated Detroit because of Jacques Demers. This is a history that's got the World Hockey Association.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, they had a bitter rivalry when they coached against each other in the, as you said, the WHA. And Brof was so competitive. He had a competitive fire on him that I've never played for another coach like that had that burning desire and competitiveness to win. But he wanted to personally try to find Jacques Demers himself, and you know how he played the game. I mean, he wanted to go and grab Demers and pummel him himself. If he could find him at a hotel in downtown Toronto, he's going to find him.
You tell the story about before a game earlier in the season against Detroit, where to drive a point home, he did a little bit of an antic. Always a well-dressed, well-manicured man.
Yeah, and you're going to make me say this, but I am going to say it because everybody knows about it, and John will probably laugh at it as well, but it was part of his way of getting the team motivated. And we went into Detroit one night and lost, and they came back the following night, and Brof's way of motivating us was taking his beautiful three-piece jacket off and jumping up and down on it and saying, we're going to get these guys if I have to go and beat Demers myself. And we're sitting there, I'm looking at Boreas Salming, and John is jumping up and down on his jacket. I couldn't believe it, but, that's part of the fun of the game that you don't know about until, long after.
All right, 2 days later after this, you're in Detroit at Joe Louis Arena, and you're facing elimination. What was said as far as the players were concerned as you led up to this game after that thing that went on 2 nights earlier?
Well, I mean, we just wanted to get back on the ice as soon as possible and try to redeem yourself. It was a pretty quiet following day, as you can imagine. Obviously, we're embarrassed and we're flying into Detroit. But by the time you wake up that day of the game in Detroit, things often do change, and you get different perspective. I mean, we did beat them the first game 6-2, and now we're heading into that Game 5 with renewed optimism and obviously wanting to make us have some kind of respect left in us after getting shellacked, and that's the kind of attitude we went into that game.
All right, well, we're looking forward to it, and there are a number of keys. Obviously, one is to get over the humiliation of the game in Toronto, Game 4, put some pressure on the Red Wing defense, and play some solid defense in front of goaltender Alan Bester. Because it is April 12th, 1988, and the Leafs and Wings are getting set for Game 5 of their Norris Division semifinal. And this is Molson Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV.
We're going out for a smoke. You coming? No, thanks. I'll pass. Okay.
What gives?
I'm quitting.
Quitting? But you just had one this morning.
I'm cutting back gradually with Nicorette.
That's nuts. You should be out there with them having a nice, relaxing smoke.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Now, you can cut back to quit with Nicorette. Nicorette, help crush your craving.
Experience the ultimate in full high definition with LG when you don't just watch it, but live it. Life's good.
Want to win an iPhone before it hits the stores? Then let's play Memory. Have a close look at this iPhone menu because some icons are about to disappear. Can you tell me which icon is missing? Text your answer sun or clock to 84040 for your chance to win. Have another look. Time's up. Text sun or clock to 84040 now. TMG subscription service, $2 Canadian per message, 4 messages per week, 16 plus only. To cancel, text stop to 84040.
Welcome to this one, and we hope it's a lot better than the last one. Harry, we've heard all kinds of things about this Toronto team. And which do you believe? Have they folded, or are they coming out here tonight to try and turn it around, not only for themselves, but for their fans? Kerry Fraser, the referee, Jerry Gauthier and Mark Vines, the linesman.
Well, they can't look at the three-game have-to-win situation. They have to look at the first 7 or 8 or 9 minutes. Get by that. Then get out of the first period, no worse than a tie, with a little confidence, get on with the game and worry about tomorrow night when tonight's done.
Ken Raggett, after suffering through the debacle Sunday, gets the night off, and Alan Bester will try to extend the series. Glenn Hanlon, 2 shutouts against the Leafs last year, and on Sunday another over Toronto in this playoff. Glenn Hanlon starts again tonight. Shabbat, Colbert, and Klima were to start. Now Jacques Demers has Burr with Ashton and Nil as his starting trio up front. And on the defense, Delorme and Norwood. And the Toronto Maple Leafs have Olczyk, Blaisdell, and Osborne, Curran and Salming.
Well, Jacques Demers is involved in this playoff war with his players. Brophy seems to be involved in this playoff at war with his players.
Detroit Red Wings sing it in. First goal has been a very big goal in this series. And the Red Wings move the puck up across the line. The Leafs though get it out on this first rush. It'll come just to the corner of the Leaf net. Bester watches the defenseman clear it up on the boards. Blaisdell couldn't get it out. Nil was in to hit him, and he had to side step him. Norwood back for Detroit. Ahead to Burr. Burr's pass over the boards and the play called.
I don't think there's any question about the fact if John Brophy's back as coach, as Mr. Ballard seems to indicate, as many as 7 or 8 players that are playing tonight won't be on the Leaf team next fall.
Everything going Jacques' way at the moment, leading the series 3-1. Lost the first game and have come back with 3 in a row. They'd love to make it 4 straight tonight and end the series here at the Joe Louis Arena. Olczyk knocked off the puck. Curran gave it to Salming, who shoots it in. It's tipped high on the glass. The Leafs are in first. To the far corner, though, is Nil. Well, the Red Wings dropped it back. Zombo played it out. Burr comes to center, winds up. Bester, the stop from the long shot. Good hard shot, though, from that distance. Wings Hallward in center ice. Left it for Zombo. Shooting it in. Detroit again to win after it. Here comes Jerry Gallant chasing Blaisdell. Gallant got a stick on it. Couldn't get it in front of the net, though, and Olczyk still on there, trying to get it out. Barr got away from a check thrown by Blaisdell. Nice move. At the line by Oates. Oates nearly set one up. Blaisdell comes back out. He'll shoot it in, and the Leafs will make changes, no doubt, with Hanlon coming out of the net. There's Dom Foose. He centered it.
and it got by everybody. It was tipped away, and Iafrate missed it at the blue line. Gill and Iafrate, the Leaf defenseman. Steps on the defense with O'Connell for Detroit. That's O'Connell. Here comes Oates, upended, penalty call. First one of the game against Toronto. And it'll be this man, Dom Foose, going off for tripping. Dom Foose of the Maple Leafs drawing the first penalty of the game for hooking Adam Oates.
Have a look here, checking from the rear. No need to hook him that far away from the goal. Take a couple of hard strides. Adam Oates is anything but fast. The Red Wings have scored 3 goals in their last 6 power play attempts and 6 for 21 in the series.
First long shot is just off the net. Leafs will major step in getting back into the series here early if they can kill a penalty. Conversely, the Red Wings will be on a high roll if they can score in the power play here. They're in there passing it around. Puck to the side of the net. Klima centered it. Went through the crease. Chabot in the corner, looking around, gets it back to Klima, closing in. Klima winds up, doesn't shoot it. Back to the line. Here's the shot. That's blocked by Curran, and the Leafs get it out of the zone. And on the wing with a long shot is Osborne. Easy save for Hanlon. Red Wings move it up to Probert. Probert to the line. Looks over it in front, throws it off the boards behind the net, and Chabot has it. Gives it to Klima, spinning around in the corner to Chabot. Chabot looking back to the line, and there's the pass. Back to Chabot again. Chabot winds up, big the shot. Right in front it comes. Buster at the mercy of the Red Wings, Klima. But they laid out. Red Wings keep pressing. Beaches shot just wide. Off the leg and missed the net by an inch or two. Norwood keeping it in. Great pressure by the Red Wings. Klima up the side of the net for Probert. Probert made a good move away from Iafrate. Klima takes his shot, kicked out, and the Leafs clear it. But boy, are they hanging on right now. 25 seconds left in the penalty. Dom Foose is in the penalty box, and the Leafs, with just 20 seconds left on the penalty now, get it up to center ice and out. Nice play to Olczyk. He's in the slot. Shoots. Scores. Olczyk. Short-handed goal for the Maple Leafs. And what a turnaround this is. With 10 seconds left in the Leaf penalty, they withstood a tremendous amount of pressure exerted by the Red Wings. And now Olczyk gives the Leafs the lead.
Well, nothing like a short-handed goal to turn your team on, especially when you're lacking confidence. A shot as he scored from the goal from the top of the circle. This is a tough shot for the goalie because he has to move with the skater. And as he's moving, you can see that Glenn Hanlon, he missed it. It's as simple as that. Glenn Hanlon doesn't let those kind of shots in very often. Simply beat him, perhaps half screen, but a huge goal for the Leafs. And that's exactly what they needed early in the game. The first goal has been such an important stat to them all year long. Let's see if it means anything tonight.
3:44 at the time of the goal by Ed Olczyk. Short-handed goal. Onward to the Red Wings, shoots it in, and now Dom Foose is out of the penalty box. Penalty is over. Koser is knocked off the puck, and Dale DeGray leads 3 men out for the Maple Leafs. Dom Foose coming in. His shot didn't get through to Hanlon. Hallward grabs it quickly and skates out. 4 of them are up to center on this rush. Hallward's shot. Went off balance, but he hangs on to it as he sees Chabot coming in. And there's no further play. Bester making the save and holding it.
That shot seemed to hurt Bester. It was a long shot. It knocked him right off his feet. I can't blame John Brophy for choosing Bester over Reggett. Never mind the last game. When you're down to 1 more loss and you're out, you'll grab any straw. And of course, the straw he grabs with Bester is that he has had the Red Wing number on more occasions than not in the last 2 years. Here's a shot from 75 feet out by Hallward, and you can see that it kind of handcuffed Bester. You don't know what to do with the puck, hold on to it. You're never wrong.
That he did. And here's the face-off because of it. Chabot, who has been a master winning face-offs for the Red Wings, just failed to get this one. Yaremchuk comes in. His pass, and here's coming in alone. Chabot winds up. Now he passes. Scores! Bridgman. Chabot has been great for the Red Wings. Perfect pass.
Well, that started off as a 2-on-2, but Bridgman beat Secord to the Leaf end and turned it into a 3-on-2. John Chabot saw that, and see, there's 15 Bridgman coming up the middle of your screen. You'll catch him in a minute. The Leafs play the 2-on-2 property right there. You can see that Secord couldn't catch number 15 Bridgman, and it went into the net. 1-1. The wind has been taken out of the Toronto sails quickly.
Mel Bridgman gets the goal, and they're even. But now, here's Marois, but just offside. Good speedy break by Marois. Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada.
Leafs TV has 7 games you won't want to miss. Toronto faces League MVP Sidney Crosby. Stanley Cup champion Anaheim Ducks. Showtime in Los Angeles. Payback in Boston. Consistency of the Devils. A flashy Alex Ovechkin. Last stop, the eye of the storm, Carolina Hurricanes. 7 games you won't want to miss in January on Leafs TV.
The best way around town is on my Yamaha.
My best farmhand, it's always my Yamaha.
I catch the big ones with my Yamaha.
For days on the trail with my son, these are our Yamahas.
What kind of Yamaha are you?
LG. Don't just watch it, live it. And now, with a chance to win your share of a $5,000 shopping spree, life's good.
I think modern technology and personal fantasy make a dangerous cocktail. While more thrills than life normally offers, Frank's Red Hot Caesar Spicer provides a full flavor Caesar that will thrill you in ways private videos never can. A thrill a bite.
There's Bridgman, who got the Wings even. Assisting him, Chabot and O'Connell, 4:31 the time. Olczyk from DeGray started the scoring. The Leafs a shorthanded goal at 3:44. 1-1 now. Again, Marois just onside this time. Going in, Snaps missed him. Marois takes it out front with the pass. It'll come to Curran at the blue line, dumped it in front. And Marois had a chance there, but just failed to control it. Marois again away from Snaps. It's centered. The Red Wings were covering up. It's kept in. Again centered. But Fergus didn't get the pass. Now Fergus takes over at center. Gets away from Ashton and back. Long pass to center ice. That does not work. And snaps for Detroit. Backs up. Little easy pass off the boards for Burr, and it's over the glass at the penalty bench, and play called again.
Well, there's young Marois, who played junior hockey in Verdun this year. Scored 52 goals in 67 games. They brought him up to Newmarket, where he got 4 goals and 4 assists for 8 points. And now he's with the big team. And a couple of times on Sunday night in Toronto, Marois turned an average-looking opportunity into a pretty good chance on goal. A second-round pick, and undoubtedly, he's one of the future hopefuls for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
5 minutes, 23 seconds gone in the first. Each team a goal. Shots, though, are 5-1. Detroit. One shot the Leafs had by Olczyk, one in. From center ice, offside is Olczyk on net play. He's having a great series.
Well, there's nothing wrong with Ed Olczyk's production. The stat that worries you about him is, even though he's led the team in scoring and led the team in goals, he was right up there again in the playoffs, he's always one of the worst minus players on the team. I know if you were coaching him, you'd be liking him to work a little harder at reducing his minus, keeping his offensive production up.
Bester nearly knocked it in his own net. You could almost tell something funny was going to happen when that puck came off the boards. Bester was very calm, and he has this place buzzing now. He turned, he stopped it, and as it turned out, he nearly knocked it across the goal line. Wow.
Well, if you wanted to let the air out of the blimp and have a crash in a hurry, this goal would have done it. Bester's quickness, one of his real skills as a goaltender, comes in handy here. He's a little nonchalant when the puck comes off, but watch how quickly, after it hits his left skate, he gets the stick down. And Bester's now describing it as a routine save. Watch it come off the end of the rink. Bester misplays it slightly, kicks it, and then with his back to all the players on both teams, he makes the save.
Face off now to the right of Bester. You can't tell with the masks, but he looks cool enough. He's got to be shaking a little.
I don't think he'd like to repeat that stop too often.
One is the score. And we're ready to go again. Klima steps in there. And Shabbat was waved out. And the Leafs control on the draw. Todd Gill shoots it on the boards for Osborne. He couldn't control it. Delorme kept it in. There's Probert. And he missed Klima with the pass. Shabbat went over there. Klima on the boards bump. And the Leafs get it out to center ice. Osborne shoots one in. And the Red Wings, John Shabbat, back to pick it up and start it. We welcome the Montreal Hartford viewers now to this game. I'm Bob Cole with Harry Neal. Olczyk coming in for the Maple Leafs. And he missed a chance to get a shot away. We're tied 1-1 here at the Joe Louis Arena. Olczyk scored first. 3:44, a shorthanded goal. Bridgman got it back at 4:31. So 1-1 at the 7-minute mark of the first period. And icing called now against the Maple Leafs.
Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs have to score 4 goals. One of the more amazing stats in the National League. When the Leafs don't score 4, that is, they score 3 or less, they are 0-47-4. I don't know whether I've ever seen such a statistic like that. It just means they never win any of those games. 2-1, 3-1, Boston 2, Buffalo nothing at the Garden. Washington backs right against the wall. The Capitol Center leading Philadelphia.
Red Wings on the face-off, move the puck in the slot right away, and here's O'Connell moving up, and Bester was down as O'Connell took the shot, but it was right at him.
And not a vintage O'Connell shot. Remember now, he broke his knuckle and missed 17 games, part of February and most of March. He used to be able to beat you from here. You have to think that that hand is healed, but not completely better.
Another face-off in the Leaf zone. Secord goes to the Leaf bench. Bester gets ready. O'Connell is still on there, back of the blue line. Leach on the other side. The defenseman with him. O'Connell again, same spot. And Bester outcutting the angle, stopped it easily. Leafs get it out. Fergus, the pass behind him. He couldn't knock it down with it. It's kicked in across the line. Back out to center. Leafs shoot it in again. That's Beach with O'Connell. O'Connell gets it away, but Iafrady's shot right on, and Hamlin had to be careful. The Leafs press a little bit now. That's Fergus. He has to backhand it into the corner. Marois got away from a check. It comes to the line. The Leafs keep it in. Now the Red Wings, Jerry Gallant will get a chance to clear it out of the zone. Decides to give it to Beach, and now it's up the center to Oates, and back here to Gallant. Gallant moving in. Oates was nailed at the blue line. He's back up, though, and after it. He centers it. They score! Richardson thought he had his man covered. Dave Barr, but the Red Wings get a 2-1 lead.
I'm not so sure that that puck didn't hit young Luke Richardson. Tying people up in front of the net has not been his biggest asset this year. Let's have a look and see whether Barr puts it in or Richardson, whose back is turned, puts it in. And in fact, Luke Richardson, not knowing it, deflected that puck into the rink. Luke has not played a lot and seems early in the game, when he gets on, he always causes a goal. But in this case, it was an accident. He was doing his job. A lucky goal for the Detroit Red Wings.
Right off the skate of Richardson. So it's 2-1 Detroit. Lead scored first. The Red Wings now with 2 in a row, and they've taken the lead. Shabbat controls it at center, gives it to Hallward, who has to back up. Daou is out there watching him. Leafs intercept. In a check, and Daou can't get very far. Mel Bridgman, who has scored a goal for the Red Wings, tried to go in. And now Daou to the other side with it. Salming lifts a high one into the right of Hanlon. Goaltender out, give it to Zambo. And now back out. Bridgman and Shabbat. Shabbat across the line, getting set, shoots! That's deflected just wide as Bridgman was nailed in front of the goal. In attack, back out there with Salming. Salming moving up, backhand shot, off the shoulder of Hanlon. Olczyk bumped Nil and knocked him down. Kept in there. Olczyk takes his shot. That's deflected in front of the net. Olczyk moving up. Leafs are hitting now. Delorme was hit hard by Olczyk. Nil spears the puck at the blue line and knocked it into the corner. Detroit up there moving forward. That is Ashton trying to dig it out. Shabbat there with him. On the other side is Nil. Nil back of the net to Shabbat. He's tied up by DeBray. But Nil intercepts the pass. Nil with it. Now Shabbat again. Shabbat over on the boards. Nobody touches him. It comes to Norwood. Shoots. Deflected by Nil. And Bestor down. And the goaltender hangs on to it. But the Wings are taking it to the Maple Leafs again.
Are you ready to change your life, look younger, and be stronger?
I went from a size 38 to a size 30 and lost over 70 pounds.
You too can get remarkable results with Bowflex Home Gyms. All it takes is one simple workout, 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week.
When they say you can work out 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, they mean exactly that. You've got to get this DVD. It'll change your life.
Call now for a free DVD that shows how you can get great results with Bowflex Home Gyms.
I gave all of my fat clothes to my fat friends.
Only Bowflex Home Gyms have Power Rod technology, the secret to getting a strong, sculpted body fast.
I am not embarrassed to take my shirt off. Either I feel better, my wife gives me that little wink every now and then.
Own your very own Bowflex Home Gym for no money down and low monthly payments. Be strong, be fit, be Bowflex. Call or go online now for your free DVD that tells you all about Bowflex Home Gyms. Call now.
Hey, Tyler, where you been all day?
I'm a cardiologist.
Again?
Yeah, it's my pacemaker. It's been reacting with my game console.
No kidding.
Yeah, the other day I was rescuing my 13th damsel from the dragon's lair. Freaking heart stopped. So you going to the Halloween dance on Friday?
No, I can't. I'm prepping for a colonoscopy.
Ah.
That last Detroit goal by Oates, his 4th, and Barr got the assist. 7:53, 2-1 Detroit. Here's Snep's shot. That hits somebody in front of the net, and the Leafs clear it out. But the Wings defense are back there. O'Connell shoots it up to Salming. Salming gives it to Iafrate. He backs up. Try to pass ahead to Marois. Now it's Iafrate missing it. Marois was in behind him, and he played the defenseman's role. Got it to Salming, and he moved it ahead. Don Foose for the Maple Leafs. Comes up across the line and stops. Played it in to the left side for Fergus. He went off balance. Sneps couldn't get it out. Leafs keep it in. At the blue line. Barely keep it on the side, but now Sneps will clear it. Long pass ahead. Down the ice. It goes to Bestor as Nil was stopped by Salming. Again, the Leafs dump it ice. Just past the halfway mark of the first period now. 2-1 Detroit. They'd love to wrap up the series tonight. get some breathing room. Higgins still out with an injury. He's got a bad shoulder. Not playing tonight. Zombo shoots it in. Bridgman at the blue line with Shabbat getting set. Shoots! Nice save by Bester. That was a good shot by Shabbat. And Bester, who had been moving the other way, made the glove save.
Watch John Shabbat here, 16. If you give him the blue line and he starts traveling across the rink and things get confusing about who you should take. He's one of the better stick-handling centermen in the National League. You must stand him up at the blue line and play him physically. He's not known to play as well under those circumstances. Let him open. Look out.
Secord stopped the puck and couldn't move it out. Kleeman just missed it. And he would have had lots of time to let one drive. He's been tough on Alan Bester in this series. He's got 5 goals. Puck shot into the Detroit zone. Here comes Secord. Tried to put it in. Sharp angle, though, to Gray's shot that missed. It was not a hard shot. Chance in front for Yaremchuk. Goes for the net. Shoots. Rebound is there. Nobody was back at the blue line, and Gill has to race back. Secord fires it too high, and it went into the crowd just inside the Detroit blue line.
Kenny Yaremchuk, a real wide threat. The Leaf team should continually go wide on the Detroit defense, especially the guys with good legs. Yaremchuk, Courtnall. Don't try and cut back in time. Here's a nice play right here for Yaremchuk. See, he gets the puck past the Doug Howard, takes a stick off the puck, so any slash is not going to knock the puck away and ends up with a pretty good shot on Glenn Hanlon.
8:19 remaining in the period. Olczyk scored first, then Bridgman and Oates, and Detroit leads by a goal. From the face-off, the Red Wings winning the draw. O'Connell and Sneps are the defensemen. Sneps to center. From there, he shoots it to the boards, and it bounces around behind the Leaf net. Salming couldn't pick it up. Kern goes over. Here's Gallant intercepting. He centered it. Nobody could get a shot, though, and it's out into the center ice area again. Sneps from O'Connell through the middle to Jerry Gallant. Gallant to center ice. He's allowed to come in. Gallant still moved it back. Here's Sneps coming up. Shoots. On the angle, covered it. He has to put it back into play. And the Leafs down Foose. Dangerous pass to the blue line, but it comes out anyway. Marois, great move. He's in there. Scores! What a beautiful goal by young Marois. He faked the shot first and then went in and lifted one high when he saw Hanlon move. That's his first, and he'll remember that. It was a dandy.
He won't get many any better. He got a real break. He got away one-on-one right here with a little speed, and he faked the shot on Mike O'Connell, pulled it through, and then stuck it up over Hanlon. Whoa. Dave Barr, 22, gambled and lost right there at the Leaf blue line, and Marois makes a real nice play here, although I'm sure Mike O'Connell is going to hear about the fact that a 19-year-old junior pulled the puck through him. If he'd been playing the man, the score would still be 2-1. But a great play, young Marois, and he looks like he might be able to help the Leafs down the road a little bit. He can do that very often, he will.
12:28, the time of the goal. Marois, a very pretty effort. And it's 2-2. Allward back for Detroit. Pass ahead. Got by Daou. He tried to stop it. Iafrate turning around, fell down. On his knees, knocked the puck down to Howard again. To Zombo. Zombo shoots it in. It'll go to Iafrate. Iafrate slapped it off the glass and got it out. Daou couldn't pick it up, though, and the Wings shoot it in there again. Leafs have to come back. That is Gill. Skates away from Burr. Gets it up through the middle. Here's a play for Inachak. Hard shot off the glove of Hanlon. Joey Kocur takes over for Detroit. Kocur getting to the line and out to center. Kocur made a good, tried to go in. He did. He got around Salming. Slapped it behind the net. The Red Wings burr in after it in the corner. And can't come up with what Bridgman does. Bridgman gets in front, centered it. Koser is robbed again. Bester stopping Koser on 2 shots by the Detroit winger.
They don't want you seeing how well a 50 pounds lighter yet 37% stronger platform performs. They're nervous you'll discover how the new suspension makes bumps virtually disappear. And they sure don't want you to know how 8 more inches of legroom adds comfort and makes you one with the machine. But most of all, there's one thing they really don't want you to see.
Ski-Doo dealers invite you to discover the full 2008 Ski-Doo lineup at skidoo.com. Ski-Doo, there's nothing like it.
We're going out for a smoke. You coming? No, thanks. I'll pass. Okay.
What gives?
I'm quitting.
Quitting? But you just had one this morning.
I'm cutting back gradually with Nicorette.
That's nuts. You should be out there with them, enjoying a nice, relaxing smoke.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Now, you can cut back to quit with Nicorette. Nicorette, help crush your craving.
Experience the ultimate in full high definition with LG when you don't just watch it, but live it. Life's good.
Tough luck around the net in this series. Here's some more.
Bridgman walks off the boards 2-on-1, gets it to Koser. Now Boreas really does a job right here, knocking Joe Koser down before he can pound away at the rebound. Joe doesn't like that, and I saw he was screaming at Salming from the bench. We may see more of those two before the night's over.
Ashton centered it, but Blaisdell took that pass. Got it out for Toronto. Marois has scored for the Leafs to tie it from Dom Fusenfergus at 12:28. And for Marois, that's his first career goal. And it was a beauty. From center ice, Leafs hold check in, dropped it neatly to Osborne. He tried the backhand pass back in front of Blaisdell, but he was covered. Salming couldn't keep it in. Red Wings get it out. Salming missed his man. Oates fired it across the line, and the Leafs get it back out to center again. 5.5 minutes left in the first period. We're tied at 2. The Leafs scored first. Olczek, shorthanded goal. Red Wings got 2 in a row, and now the Leafs have tied it. There's Oates again, centering it to nil. To boot that one home. Oates around the net, tried to stuff it in, and he was covered in time. Blaisdell got a piece of him. Osborne shoots one in from center. The Leafs make changes. So do the Red Wings. As Snep starts back for Detroit. Gets to the line, shakes off the check, keeps going. Harold Snep's going in, working like a rookie on the play. Dumped it to the side of the net, and Iafrate takes over for Toronto. 2 wings are in there for checking goal. One of them, the dangerous John Shabbat. Shabbat kicks to the line and leaves the pass. It's played in by Veach to Shabbat again. Shabbat centered it at Klima. Not a good pass, was on his skate. But Klima was open. Down the ice, Snips trying to stop Yaremchuk. Does this time. Pinned him on the boards. Veach around the net away from Secord. Leading the Detroit players to center. Veach up to the line. Stops there. It's knocked away and back in there again. Bester has to cover up. And he hangs on to it. Hockey night in Canada. A Stanley Cup tradition.
2-2 tie in the first period, and rookie, and I do mean rookie, Daniel Marois in his very first National Hockey League game scores just a beautiful goal, Mark Osborne. And here's a guy that later on in his career, a bad back really hampered a career that at this particular point looked like it was on the verge of stardom.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, he came in and scored an unbelievable goal. You know, if we get a chance to see that, made a terrific move. Kind of moves you like to see today, like guys like Jagger and that to do it. And obviously after that playoff series, he went on to, I believe, score over 30 goals the following year and have a lot of promise. And it's too bad that he did suffer his back injury. He was never the same player since. Speaking of back injuries, Wendell Clark this season plays in just 28 games, 12 goals. This is a young man who has very quickly
become the leader of this organization. And it's his enthusiasm and his robust play that many times gets things started. And his absence in no means is a small one here.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, you can't lose a guy like Wendell. That was his only third or fourth year in the league, and what he did prior to him getting injured, and he could obviously score and finish checks, and losing him was costly for us in that series.
Did you ever see a guy in the league who really, Wendell was not a big man and yet played as a heavyweight, and in many, many forms, both when the clock was stopped and both when the clock was running.
Yeah, no doubt. Wendell was 6 foot. He wasn't 6'2", 6'3", like a Bob Probert who we off up against, and they had some beauties, didn't they? But he obviously played a lot bigger than his size was, and I've never seen a guy that strong from his upper back and upper body. And you remember some of the times when he was one punching guys and throwing them down one arm. Yeah. So that's that farmer in him. That's
the bale and hay
exactly.
And shoot the puck.
Oh, shoot the puck! Tremendous wrist shot, snap shot. He'd come over that blue line, and we've seen him score goals just inside the blue line with a wrist shot. How many guys could do that?
Exactly. But he's not here tonight. But the Leafs have bounced back after having an early lead and the Red Wings tying and going ahead. The Leafs have come back on a pretty goal from Daniel Marois. Let's go back now to Bob Cole.
4 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the first period. I'm Bob Cole with Harry Neal. John Brophy back of the Leaf bench. His team going ahead. Saw the Wings get ahead. Come back to tie. Face off to the left of Alan Vester. Starts again tonight for the Maple Leafs. Puck to Barr. Barr centered it. Everybody was tied up in front of the net. Oates especially. And the Leafs get it up to center ice. Allward had to poke at it. Fergus was in there looking for it. Now the Wings get one in on their goaltender Hanlon. He was alert, waiting for it. Oates skates around the goal. Now he has some room to start moving. Adam Oates to the line to center. He'll go up to the Leaf line. Then lost control of it. And the Leafs, Marois is back out again. But the play is called in behind. Marois had been moving down the ice. And a slashing penalty has been called. And it's Domfus again. Islanders and Jersey. Dandy series. LaFontaine has tied it for New York. Hartford hanging on to a 1-goal lead. Canadians want to end that series. Hartford tough though.
Double penalties there, Bob. Domfus got 2, but so did Dave Bard. So there'll be no power play. 3:50 left, and the Leafs are getting close to doing one thing they had to do tonight: get out of the first period in decent shape on the scoreboard.
So far, it's decent for both teams. They're tied at 2. And offsetting minor penalties here. Here's Blaisdell up there for Toronto. Left wing pass in the slot. Osborne and Blaisdell went in there. Blaisdell had a stick lifted by that man, Norwood. But he couldn't clear it. Here's Gill centering it. It hit Blaisdell's skate and bounced away. Red Wings get it out across the line. Ashkin moving up the center. Shoots it in. And Bester out of the net to leave it for Iafrate. He fired it without looking over there, and Delora waiting for the puck. However, Blaisdell for Toronto. Tried a stick handle out of his own zone. Now Todd Gill comes out. His pass right to Ashton. And again, Iafrate moves up. Iafrate doing it himself. Pass in front. And a nice play. But Olczyk could not make contact. He just missed it in front of Hanlon. And the net went flying. 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in this opening period. It's 2-2. Face off deep in the Detroit zone to the right of Glenn Hanlon. Marois with his first goal in the National Hockey League coming here in the playoffs has tied the game for Toronto. Here's Secord. Bring it back to Salming. Kern, the other defenseman. Salming goes to Yaremchuk at center. Couldn't knock it down. High Courtnalon, I think his first shift. And Salming has to go all the way back. There's Big Probert standing in front of the net. Here's Shabbat stealing it. Backhand shot, and Bester had to be alive to stop that one. Shabbat came out of nowhere. Red Wings intercept. Beat shoots. That's blocked. And Yaremchuk deciding he'd better get rid of it. The Leafs were running around, and he clears it down the ice. Portnoy coming in. The goaltender Hanlon had to play it. So no icing, and now Shabbat moving up across the line. Stick handling around. Nice play to Lima. Lima tried to come in. Lima missed a chance to shoot it. At the line, another shot. And it's dumped off the boards. Not out. Centered again. Secor. He couldn't move it out. Good forechecking by the Red Wings. Probert winds up. Klima gets in. Oh, and Bester made a brilliance on Klima's backhander. Oates went after it. There's Oates with the puck now. Centers it. Todd Gill slapped it away. The Leafs frustrated with the forechecking Red Wings. That's a good line. Klima and Probert had some great chances. Now Kern laid it to the line out to center ice. And the Leafs are shooting it in again right to Hanlon once more. Goaltender tries to clear it himself. It's dumped out across the line to center ice. Here's Oates moving up there. Dribbles it in. Bester out of the net into the final minute of the period. Took a funny hop on the glass over there and back of the goal again. Red Wings are on it. It's centered. Gallant got it back to O'Connell. He just rolled it up to the corner. Kern slapped at it. And it's Inachak who'll clear the zone. Up as far as the Detroit line. Terrien going in. And he lost it again. 35 seconds to play in the period. On the far side, puck still inside the line. The Leafs making changes as Inachak tries to hold it in there. He gets loose, centered it, and it just bounced away from Osborne, who now centers it. Oh, check around the net. Tried to stuff it in. Inachak didn't see it. 15 seconds to play in the period. And now, Iafrate to Inachak. He had to shoot it off to the far side. Olchek is dumped in front of the net, and he has been injured with 7 seconds to play. It is called, and Olchek is shaken up.
He's cut too, Bob, so this will become an automatic 5-minute penalty. I think he's all right, but he's cut under the eye, and if Kerry Fraser had in fact called the minor penalty, then he will have to add 3 minutes to it and make it a major. Now we'll find out shortly whether there was any call at all. It may well have been accidental.
I had looked over there when I saw Olchek fall to the ice, and I looked to the referee. He had not made any indication that there would be a penalty. However, we'll see now.
There's the high stick by Hallward, 7 on Olchek. If it wasn't called, you can see that it should have been. I don't think Doug Hallward went after him on purpose, but he had the stick up over his shoulder, and the referees have called that very strictly. And a high sticking penalty can be called by the linesman. So you're into that same situation. You mean 3 of them missed it?
Well, you saw how it happened right in front of the Detroit netminder Hanlon. Hallward got his stick up, trying to check the Leaf player, who went flying. He went down immediately. But as I said, I didn't see any indication from the referee that a penalty would have been called.
Now, Hallward was just trying to tie Olchek up in front of the net, and his stick got high. But I guess Kerry Fraser looks upon it as an accident. Most of those Entel high sticks have been called this year, and I think the Leafs have a legitimate complaint. And there's Brophy. He better be careful now. When the referee comes over to the bench, it's usually to tell you to keep quiet.
He's not listening.
Fraser is saying that I'm sure that I saw it. It was an accidental high stick.
Well, they're both yelling now.
That's an easy way out, John Brophy said. So Fraser must have relayed the message that nobody saw it.
So no penalty, in fact, was called, and this last face-off just outside the line. There's the horn that ends the first period. The shots were 14-5 for Detroit. The score at the end of the first period, Toronto, Detroit 2.
shot, scores!
Goal alert. Want to always be in the game? Text GO-TOR to 52525 to get all your Maple Leaf game goal alerts. Don't miss another goal again. Get your Maple Leaf game goal alerts.
Want to win an iPhone before it hits the stores? Then let's play Memory. Have a close look at this iPhone menu because some icons are about to disappear. Can you tell me which icon is missing? Text your answer sun or clock to 84040 for your chance to win an iPhone. Have another look. Time's up. Text sun or clock to 84040 now. TMG subscription service, $2 Canadian per message, 4 messages per week, 16 plus only. To cancel, text stop to 84040.
The best way around town is Yamaha.
My best farmhand? It's always my Yamaha.
I catch the big ones with my Yamaha.
For days on the trail with my son, these are our Yamahas.
What kind of Yamaha are you?
LG. Don't just watch it, live it. And now, with a chance to win your share of a $5,000 shopping spree, life's good.
First period intermission, it's a 2-2 tie. Ed Olczyk getting high stick. Kerry Fraser missed that one as well. But Mark Osborne is our guest. And Mark, Ed Olczyk comes over to Toronto in a controversial trade that is made. Al Secord joins him. Rick Vai is heading to Chicago. Eddie's an interesting guy because he's a character amongst himself, very talented young man, a Chicago native, and what was he like to play with? Because later on, in a couple of years, you're part of Doug Carpenter's high-scoring Leafs that had Olczyk, Lehman, and Osborne as the leading threesome.
Well, it was obviously that was a big trade. You didn't mention that Steve Thomas was part of that deal, yes. going to Chicago as well, and. But I obviously had the opportunity to play with Eddie, and Eddie was a young player that grew up in Chicago. That I think there was a lot of pressure on him to play at home there, and so the trade I think was very good for him coming over to Toronto. And Eddie was a great scorer, playmaker, and we really hit it off both on and off the ice as soon as Eddie came over. We got married, soon, pretty close to each other, and. Playing on the ice with Eddie was a great thrill.
He good shooter, great shot, really, I guess, and maybe surprising quickness. His skating style seemed a little laborious at times, but he had great quickness and acceleration.
Yeah, Eddie definitely had a heavy shot. I mean, he played with a stick similar to a Rick Vai, where heaviest stick in the league and long, and Eddie could really. Have a heavy type of a shot, guys that really can shoot the puck hard, but Eddie had a hard shot and accurate, and he scored over 40 goals. Not as you put it well, not a fleet of foot, but Eddie got around and was smart and was creative, and he was obviously the reason that Gary Lehman ended up scoring 50 goals after that, playing with Eddie. Eddie fed Gary a lot.
Mark, you're tied 2-2 after a period, and after coming to Detroit after the mess in Toronto, how does the team feel in the room?
There wasn't a lot being said prior to that game. I think there was enough motivation from the drubbing a couple of nights previous, and we just obviously talked a little bit about the game and prepared and had beaten them, pretty handily in the first game, and they shellacked us, but. Playoff hockey, it's you step on the ice and things are new, and can't wait to get the game started.
All right, well, it's 2-2 at the end of one. The Leafs and the Detroit Red Wings back on April the 12th, 1988. It's the Norris Division semifinal, and it is Game 5. This is Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV.
I think modern technology and personal fantasy make a dangerous cocktail. While more thrills than life normally offers, Frank's Red Hot Caesar Spicer provides a full-flavor Caesar that will thrill you in ways private videos never can. A thrill-a-bite.
Are you ready to change your life? Look younger, be stronger?
I went from a size 38 to a size 30 and lost over 70 pounds.
You too can get remarkable results with Bowflex Home Gyms. All it takes is one simple workout, 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week.
When they say you can work out 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, they mean exactly that. You've got to get this DVD. It'll change your life.
Call now for a free DVD that shows how you can get great results with Bowflex Home Gyms.
I gave all of my fat clothes to my fat friends.
Only Bowflex Home Gyms have Power Rod technology, the secret to getting a strong, sculpted body fast.
I am not embarrassed to take my shirt off. I look better. I feel better. My wife gives me that little wink every now and then.
Own your very own Bowflex Home Gym for no money down and low monthly payments. Be strong, be fit, be Bowflex. Call or go online now for your free DVD that tells you all about Bowflex Home Gyms. Call now.
LG. Don't just watch it, live it. And now, with a chance to win your share of a $5,000 shopping spree, life's good.
2-2 tie, the Leafs and the Detroit Red Wings. Eddie Olczyk, a shorthanded goal from Greg Terrian to open the scoring and give the Leafs some much-needed confidence. Mel Bridgman and then Adam Oates scoring to give the Red Wings the lead. But Daniel Marois, one of the prettiest goals of the season, has tied the game for the Maple Leafs. 2-2 tie. You're watching Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV.
High-def colors like you've never seen. Only on Panasonic Viera Plasma.
Hey, Tyler, where you been all day?
I'm a cardiologist.
Again?
Yeah, it's my pacemaker. It's been reacting with my game console.
No kidding.
Yeah, the other day I was rescuing my 13th damsel from the dragon's lair. Freaking heart stopped. So you going to the Halloween dance on Friday?
No, I can't. I'm prepping for a colonoscopy.
Ah.
They don't want you seeing how well a 50 pounds lighter yet 37% stronger platform performs. They're nervous you'll discover how the new suspension makes bumps virtually disappear. And they sure don't want you to know how 8 more inches of legroom adds comfort and makes you one with the machine. But most of all, there's one thing they really don't want you to see.
Ski-Doo dealers invite you to discover the full 2008 Ski-Doo lineup at .com. Ski-Doo, there's nothing like it.
This is Bob Cole with Harry Neal back at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. We're tied at 2 after 1 period. And here's how it happened. Olczyk, a shorthanded goal, by the way, at 3:44. Bridgman tied it at 4:31. Oates his 4th at 7:53. And Marois, his very first goal in the National Hockey League, a picture play at 12:28. But territorially, Harry, the Red Wings own the Maple Leafs. And the shots will indicate that, as a fact, 14-5 in the period.
The Leafs have to be very careful when the Shabbat line's on. They are by far the most dangerous trio for the Red Wings, and they had about 6 excellent chances in the first period.
Icing called right off the bat against the Maple Leafs. It'll come all the way back into Bester's territory.
Another area the Leafs have been second best in almost every game is losing the draws, especially the draws in either zone. And, you know, if you lose 75% of the face-offs in your own zone, it's hard to escape without having a couple of goals result almost directly from the loss of the draw. When you're facing off against a man who's beating you all night, I think you have to stop trying to win the draw and start trying to scramble it.
And from that scramble, the puck goes to the corner, and the Red Wings move in on top of it. Nil tries to dig it off the boards and cannot.
Penalty. Kerry Fraser has called a penalty on the Detroit Red Wings, I believe, for tripping. The player that's going to get the penalty doesn't know yet. He's got it.
Nobody has moved to the penalty box. There's Kerry Fraser. DeLorme is circling dangerously close to the gate, and there's Sean Burr in there.
Tough way to start a period. I'm sure Jacques Demers, here's the penalty right here. I'm sure Jacques Demers came down pretty heavily on the Red Wings for that period. They don't want to let the Leafs into this thing.
Sean Burr for tripping and the Maple Leafs. Would love to get their power play going. Osborne overskates it, and it got by Gill and out to center. Gray waits. Now the pass into the skates of Olczyk, now to Gill. Gill shoots it on the boards in the corner. Osborne moving up at center to Olczyk. He couldn't make a play. And the Red Wings send two away. It'll be DeLorme just pushing it down into the lead zone.
2 for 24 on the power play, which is a terrible success rate. Added to that is they've given up 2 shorthanded goals.
Down the right side, that's DeGray shooting it in. Hanlon stepping behind the net to stop it. Gill can't stop it at the blue line. And Bester now will have to contend with Dave Barr coming in. Bester waits, sees Barr, and goes to Gill. Todd Gill coming out. Less than a minute remaining in the penalty. Leafs haven't had a shot yet. Gill dropped it outside the blue line with everybody going in. And it's been murder for the Maple Leafs trying to get a organized attack going with the man advantage. Down the ice it goes again. Off by Afridi, right to Bester. 35 seconds left in the penalty to Troy. Salming will try to shoot it in. He'll do it. And there's Fergus moving up with Marois. Nil with Sneps. Marois, the helmet, couldn't find the puck, and the Red Wings shoot it down the ice again. The Red Wings penalty killing has been just super in this series.
Number 1 in the league during the season, and number 1 in the league at the moment in the playoffs.
Here's Dom Foose coming up there, away from Sneps, who whipped the puck away from him. Harold Sneps made a good play and got it out. And the penalty is over now. The Red Wings have killed yet another one.
Well, Harold Sneps is one of the better defensive zone coverage defensemen in the National League. When he puts his eye on you, you're going to be down or up against the glass. Killing a penalty, he has one problem. He cannot shoot the puck very well, so he gets his stick on it and has a tough time icing it. But there are 4 guys, Bob, that were instrumental in the Canucks going to the Stanley Cup in 1982. Quality people, every one of them, coaching the 4 of them.
2 minutes, 26 seconds gone in the second. Still 2-2. Todd Gill of the Maple Leafs shooting it into the Detroit zone. There is Shabbat on the puck. Shabbat tried to move it out with a skate, got it to the line, but not out. Klima moved up on it. The Leafs keep it in. Courtnall nearly fell down, and now Shabbat starts back out. 3 of them to center. Klima back to Shabbat. Shabbat going right in there, around the net. Still controls it. He's out front again, centered it. And a low shot by Hallward missed. Klima centered it. Went by Shabbat and Probert and out. Shabbat really controlling the play. Now Klima is stopped. Probert can't play it. He did anyway. And the play is called. Offside from Detroit. This is the Stanley Cup playoffs on CBC.
It's been since he first set skates on the ice.
Hi, hockey fans!
Now he's back. 11 original episodes shown during the first intermission of Leafs games on Leafs TV. See Peter Puck for the first time in over 30 years. Catch him only on Leafs TV.
I'm Peter Puck.
We're going out for a smoke. You coming? No, thanks. I'll pass. Okay.
What gives?
I'm quitting.
Quitting? But you just had one this morning.
I'm cutting back gradually with Nicorette.
That's nuts. You should be out there with them, enjoying a nice, relaxing smoke.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Now, you can cut back to quit with Nicorette. Nicorette, help crush your craving.
Experience the ultimate in full high definition with LG when you don't just watch it, but live it. Life's good.
Want to win an iPhone before it hits the stores? Then let's play Memory. Have a close look at this iPhone menu because some icons are about to disappear. Can you tell me which icon is missing? Text your answer sun or clock to 84040 for your chance to win an iPhone. Have another look. Time's up. Text sun or clock to 84040 now. TMG subscription service, $2 Canadian per message, 4 messages per week, 16 plus only. To cancel, text stop to 84040.
I think modern technology and personal fantasy make a dangerous cocktail. While more thrills than life normally offers, Frank's Red Hot Caesar Spicer provides a full flavor Caesar that will thrill you in ways private videos never can. A thrill a bite.
Smugging a fair bit of ice time again tonight for Detroit. The Wings shoot it down. It goes in behind Bester, and icing is called against the Detroit Red Wings. We're deeply saddened to learn of the sudden death of Suzanne Kuklewicz, the daughter of Aggie Kuklewicz, who was well known to many hockey fans for his involvement in international hockey tournaments. All of us at Hockey Night in Canada extend our most sincere sympathies to Aggie and the Kuklewicz family. Two-2 is the score here at the Joe Louis Arena, nearing the 4-minute mark of the second period. Red Wings trying to wind up the series tonight, and the Maple Leafs trying to extend it. 8-0 Sunday night. They've obviously forgotten that, these Maple Leafs have. Although the Red Wings are out 15-5. Here's a chance for Tyrion. The pass, though, on his skate. Snaps moved it up. Gallant couldn't go in. He was taken out by Kern, allowing Salming to go in, and there's a penalty coming up against Detroit, I think. The Leafs send Bester to the bench, trying to get the extra man on. Kern goes back in his own zone. Kern fires it along on the boards, and Veach touches it. Now the play is called, and there is a penalty called against Detroit. Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada. Another penalty to Detroit here in the second period. Jerry Gallant put the slash on the Leaf player, and he's gone. But it seems to be no problem to these Detroit Red Wings when they're shorthanded. Shabbat on the ice again. Don't have to worry about that. But the pass to Blaisdell. Hard shot by Hanlon, though. Shabbat picks the opening. Gill with DeGray. Osborne with Olczyk and Blaisdell in. Blaisdell to the right wing, centered it. Too far for Osborne. Pushed it back to the line. To Osborne again. DeGray is there with him. And there's Shabbat, but DeGray stopped it. Now it's cleared by Nill down the ice. And another penalty is being called. And this one also against Detroit. Bester is on the bench. They move it to center. Olczyk shooting along one end. It'd be better for the Leafs to let the Wings play the puck and have a longer period of time with a two-man advantage. They finally do anyway, and here's yet another penalty against the Red Wings.
1:02 left in Gallant's penalty, so Toronto gets a real opportunity here to do something. 2 men up for 1 minute and 2 seconds, and then 58 more seconds with a regular power play. This power play has sputtered so poorly this year that you have to wonder whether this is another example of a game where they need a power play goal but can't get one.
You remember the Leafs had a two-man advantage for well over 1.5 minutes earlier in the series, and the Red Wings just simply shut them down with the 3 skaters they had on the ice.
They absolutely have to win the draw, and John Shabbat, 16 for the Red Wings, or Adam Oates, 21 for the Red Wings, have been almost unbeatable on the face-off.
Brophy wants to talk to Ferguson Damphus.
Brophy's called a timeout. Not a bad idea. He knows that this could be the turning point of the game. He wants to make sure he's got the players he wants on the ice, that they're all rested, and he's giving them some instructions now as to how he wants them to go about creating the chance that they need. And of course, what they want to do here is score in the first minute and then score in the second minute of the power play.
Shabbat will be on, that's for sure, for Detroit. Delorme and Norwood are the defensemen. Osborne, Olchek, Blaisdell, Iafrate, and Salming for the Maple Leafs. A two-man advantage for 1 minute and 2 seconds. That's the time remaining in Gallant's penalty. 2-2's the score, and right off the bat, they win the face-off, and it goes back, and it went by Iafrate down the ice. Now then, Osborne will get the zone for the Maple Leafs. Takes a look around. They have to spring somebody open for a shot. Tip near the line. There's a shot from the blue line that hit Norwood. The Red Wings, only 3 of them out there, but they're on the puck all the time. Iafrate now shooting, scores! Iafrate took the shot. I think it might have been Tipord in front of the net, and that will allow Gallant to come out of the penalty box. But more importantly, there's still a penalty. Hanlon is shaken up on the play, and the Leafs take the lead 3-2 and still have the man advantage.
I don't know what happened to Hanlon here. Looks like he might be winded. The shot from Iafrate comes from the point. I think you're going to see 12, Osborne, come into your screen. There he is. And he get a stick on it. Now, what might have happened is he tipped that, and it might have hit Hanlon in the groin on the way through.
Pretty tough to see what happened.
Well,
Maybe this angle will do it.
I think you'll see it right here. That the shot, on the tip shot, hits Hanlon and hardly makes it to the back of the net. I think it hit him in the groin, and he doesn't look too comfortable now. Here it is again.
Another angle.
I'm sure that's what happened. The trainer runs out. How are you feeling, Glenn? And Glenn says, good.
Hanlon rolling around in pain, obviously. And the trainer trying to determine just how seriously he might be injured. We'll try another angle for you, folks. Our Hockey Night in Canada crew working overtime, and right behind the net, the shot will come through. Watch Osborne's stick. Touches the puck. Up it goes. How to go, fellows. Perfect shot.
Now, the referee usually gives the goalie about a minute to recover, and then they have to replace him. Now, the question here is, will Hanlon be all right in a few minutes?
Good camera work and production with Jim Marshall, our producer, and Ron Harrison, our director tonight. We have 1 minute and 31 left in the penalty to the Detroit Red Wings. Hanlon is slowly getting up. He's back on his skates, but obviously in pain yet. Has shown no sign of leaving, although Stefan is off the bench over there at the Detroit bench and is on the ice just waiting to see if Hanlon is going to continue or whether he'll come out. I got a feeling he'll go to the bench for a break anyway. Iafrate, by the way, was given credit for the Leaf goal, unassisted power play goal at 5:30. Stefan is going to come in to replace Hanlon, who's injured. Bob Cole and Harry Neal at the Joe Louis Arena. 1 minute 31 left in the Detroit penalty. Stefan is in the net.
Hanlon has just collapsed in the runway on the way to the Red Wing dressing room, so he's a little more seriously hurt than we think.
We welcome you people who have been viewing the Montreal-Hartford game. Bob Cole and Harry Neal at the Joe Louis Arena. A 3-2 score for the Maple Leafs. They're on the power play again, moving up. Iafrate has just scored, and the Leafs are just in offside. Nil of Detroit is in the penalty box, and he has 1 minute 17 left in his penalty. Just seconds ago, Iafrate was given credit for a goal shot from the blue line we thought was tipped in front by Osborne. But the official score so far has not changed anything. He says Iafrate at 5:30. And at the time, the Leafs had a two-man advantage. Now they still have a one-man advantage.
Well, Stefan's in there. Any goalie will tell you they don't like sitting on the bench watching the game, then very suddenly have to go in and start playing.
Stefan replacing Hanlon after that last Leaf goal. Hanlon was injured and has gone to the Detroit dressing room. Here's Salming coming out. Salming to center with a long shot, and Stefan, I'll tell you, had to be careful with that one. He jammed the pads on it and held it. Oh. It's been a rather quiet evening so far.
Very quiet, but Blaisdell just gave Harold Seps the spear. Snaps is a nasty guy in his own zone. Here's the shot from center. Stefan takes it on the pads. And there's a typical Detroit Red Wing penalty killing situation. 4 players strung across the blue line.
.52 seconds left in the penalty to Detroit's Jim Nill. So Maple Leafs continue with the man advantage. And they're leading 3-2. And they win the draw this time. Gill winds up, doesn't shoot it. DeGray shoots it. Rebound, and it's cleared by the Red Wings down the ice. Bester out of the net in a second for DeGray. Leafs are coming out. DeGray plays it up to center ice, and here's Fergus cutting in. Fergus looking for somebody open, goes back to the net with it. It's Marois playing it ahead. Marois gets in front of the net. Domfus back there and lost it. He held on to it and then finally had it knocked away. Now he centers it, and Shabbat was there for Detroit. Norwood slapped it and got it by DeGray down the ice. Nets and Blaisdell, minor penalties, offsetting of course. And now the Red Wings are at full strength again with the Leafs coming in. Hard shot that misses from Fergus. It's centered again, and the Red Wings get it out across the line. Domfus has Nill all over him. Gill played it to Fergus, who shoots it in, and the Leafs make changes. Stefan replacing Hanlon here in the second period at 5:30. After Iafredi had scored the go-ahead goal for Toronto. Zombo moving up to center, and a long shot in to the right of Bester. Red Wings in after it, but it's Therrien getting out. He has Daou up there with him. A long shot, a high one, over the net. And Burr failed to play it out of the zone. Lehman knocked his man down. Little pushing and shoving there. Iafredi after it, or rather Inachek after it on the boards. Dropped to the line, and Therrien got in front but was tied up by Zombo. Daou trying to knock it loose. They hold it on the boards. Play called. Stefan has replaced Glenn Hanlon here early in the second period.
Hanlon got hit in the groin, and he collapsed in the runway, and he was down for about 2 minutes, and they finally carried him into the Red Wing dressing room. So he's a little more seriously hurt spot.
The Leafs leading 3-2. Can't penetrate. Shabbat gets loose again for Detroit. Stops in there. He controlled it to Probert. Probert looking for Beach in front of the net. Beach comes in to dig it out. Beach takes his shot off the side of the goal. Probert leaving it again. And in the slot area, he picks it up, gets it back to the line. Right into Probert. Klima centered it. And the Leafs are at the mercy of the Red Wings again. High shot on the glass. Here's O'Connell moving up. O'Connell back of the goal to John Shabbat. He fooled one player, then another. And finally, the Leafs get a chance to clear it and move it outside the line to Secord. His pass ahead. Little too far for Yaremchuk. Maple Leafs shoot it down. This will be icing as the Red Wings go back to pick it up. Nearing the halfway mark of the second period. Iafredi, the go-ahead goal on a power play at 5:30.
Boy, I don't like that matchup that John Brophy now has allowed Jacques Demers to get twice. Russ Courtnall's line, Yaremchuk and Secord against Shabbat. Courtnall's the worst minus on the Leafs in this series, and Yaremchuk and Secord are both a -3. I know when you're on the road you don't get the last change, but that line has been getting chance after chance every shift. You have to try and get 3 guys that will play a little defense against the 3 of those fellas because they are on a roll.
Red Wings winning again. The draw, the shot. Another penalty coming up. This could be against Detroit. They're getting a rash of penalties here in the second period. And the fans here at the Joe Louis Arena do not like it.
The best way around town is on my Yamaha.
My best farmhand? It's always my Yamaha.
I catch the big ones with my Yamaha.
For days on the trail with my son, these are our Yamahas.
What kind of Yamaha are you?
Are you ready to change your life, look younger, and be stronger?
I went from a size 38 to a size 30 and lost over 70 pounds.
You too can get remarkable results with Bowflex Home Gyms. All it takes is one simple workout, 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week.
When they say you can work out 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, they mean exactly that. You've got to get this DVD. It'll change your life.
Call now for a free DVD that shows how you can get great results with Bowflex Home Gyms.
I gave all of my fat clothes to my fat friends.
Only Bowflex Home Gyms have Power Rod technology, the secret to getting a strong, sculpted body.
I am not embarrassed to take my shirt off. I look better. I feel better. My wife gives me that little wink every now and then.
Own your very own Bowflex Home Gym for no money down and low monthly payments. Be strong, be fit, be Bowflex. Call or go online now for your free DVD that tells you all about Bowflex Home Gyms. Call now.
LG. Don't just watch it, live it. And now, with a chance to win your share of a $5,000 shopping spree, life's good.
I think modern technology and personal fantasy make a dangerous cocktail. While more thrills than life normally offers, Frank's Red Hot Caesar Spicer provides a full flavor Caesar that will thrill you in ways private videos never can. A thrill a bite.
Dave Barr now the latest penalty against Detroit for interference. We'll pick it up for you.
Well, the Leaf player's trying to get out to cover the point, and you can see right there at the lower right corner, Barr simply trips him. He'll serve 2 for that.
Maple Leafs getting all kinds of chances to get back into this series. They're leading 3-2 on one power play goal. However, they had a 2-man advantage when they scored that one. Their power play has not been very successful. They're in on the play this time. Osborne gets it to the line. Salming shot away off the net. And it finds its way over the glass into the crowd. And the Maple Leafs with a man advantage. Can't keep the puck inside the line. Burr going down with Ashton breaking for the net. Ashton centered it. Great chance for Burr, but he was stopped. Back out for Blaisdell. He centered it. Olchek shoots, scores. Olchek with a magnificent shot on this 3-man rush for the Maple Leafs. Another play goal. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are leading 4-2.
Well, give credit to Boreas Salming. Way back in front of his net, he made a big-time shot block on Sean Burr. Watch this one right here. And that caught both wing penalty-killing forwards. A 3-on-2, Blaisdell's got it, pulls the defenseman over, and Eddie Olchek, boy, you don't see too many better shots than that one. He gives the Leafs halfway through this game a 4-2 lead.
We'll get the official scoring play for you in just a moment. But it's a big goal for Toronto. The Red Wings look for it back. Bester stopped one and another. 2 big saves by Bester on the sharpshooter, Adam Oates. And again, Kerry Fraser is in the middle of things, and there could be another penalty called here. Iafrate of the Maple Leafs off.
Well, the Maple Leafs have grabbed the lead. A couple of goals, Al Iafrate with a 2-man advantage, and Eddie Olchek scores on the power play just a couple of seconds after Boreas Salming gives of his body and himself. And Mark Osborne, we had the pleasure of watching him play the majority of his career, I guess. But every night there was something different. This was an amazing athlete. I mean, his body fat percentage and everything was just an amazing ability to play anywhere. And he could play forward, center, left wing. I don't care. I think he could play goal. And many nights he did.
He did, and it was a privilege to play with a guy like that. Not only his ability on the ice, but he was a great person off the ice as well, and obviously going to be a future Hall of Famer. And but he was an amazing athlete. He did things that we took for granted, or there was never described enough or given the recognition I think that he would probably get today. during those lean years of the 70s, where he played the majority of his career in a Maple Leaf uniform.
And so many times in those years during the 80s, it was Boria, look after the kid, play with one of the youngsters. And so the creativity and the ability, the offensive flair that he showed early on in the 70s, maybe when Ian Turnbull and Sittler and McDonald were there, was really put on hold because of the betterment of the team and protecting a young defenseman.
Yeah, no doubt. And can you imagine what he would have been able to do if he, from an offensive standpoint, if he had a stable, stay-at-home guy that, a lot of these, good offensive defensemen do play with nowadays. He was often given the task of playing with an 18-year-old defenseman, and we saw a lot of those guys come in, drafted right out of junior hockey, and he's either playing with a Boimstruck or a Bobby McGill, or all these guys that are young rookies, a Luke Richardson, and he was required to stay at home and take care of them. Well, those guys will probably tell you that really helped their career immensely.
He obviously worked very hard in the off season.
It sure looked that way. Boria was an amazing individual, athletic. He was just a natural, and it was always amazing to me because for the rest of us that kind of labored and painstakingly took our summers where we went to the gym and lifted weights and rode the bike, stationary bike, and started skating at the end of July just to get ready for September training camp. First day of training camp we'd get to, and we'd have to do blue lines or certain kind of conditioning drills, and Boria would be way ahead of all of us, and that was his first day on the ice. And it was that's the secret. Don't do any training in the off season. Go hang out with Boria, and you'll be the best conditioned athlete on the team.
I'm not sure that would have worked either, Mark.
It would have worked for me, believe me.
You got that right. Well, we're in the middle of the second period. The Leafs have taken the lead in this Game 5 of the Norris Division semifinal. And let's go back to Bob Cole.
Eddie Olczyk gets his fourth of the series, and boy, is this a vicious shot. Wow.
35 feet out. No chance,
Red Wings now a chance to get back again. They're on a power play. Iafrady's in the penalty box. Vinch lost it. And Olczyk is on there killing a penalty and scooped a high one down. That fourth Maple Leaf goal, his second of the game. Olczyk at 9:57 from Blaisdell and Salming. Another power play goal for Toronto. Now the Wings are on a power play. In goes Gallant is up there with him. Veach couldn't stop it at the blue line. And it bounces out. Olczyk and Osborne killing the penalty with Salming and Curran. Now Barr from center ice up on Salming. He stands up at the blue line. Bester out of the net, can't make contact with the puck back of the goal. Adam Oates is on the ice, and he'll come up with it. Oates turning around in the corner, given a little time. He'll pull the Leaf defense apart. He centers it. Back to the line of Veach. Screen shot. Bester blocked it. And the Leafs get it out again. 55 seconds left in the penalty. If Toronto can kill this one, it'll be huge. Here's Oates, though. Right in. Scores! Boy, is he hot for Detroit. Adam Oates.
Great give and go. Oates threw it over to Barr at the blue line and then headed for the net. Barr got it back to him, and Adam Oates, who's been dynamite on the power play. There's the pass. That's the give. Here's the go. That puts Oates in the clear. Therrien tries to hook him, but can't. And Oates, who's a very patient hockey player, waits for Alan Bester to open his legs and then sticks it between them to get the Red Wings back in the game.
Adam Oates again for Detroit. That makes it 4-3. His fifth goal. So he's up there with Klima now. But this guy has been in on just about every Detroit scoring play, one way or another.
On the power play, he's got about 80% of his points, so it's dynamite. Number 21, Adam Oates, is taking over a lot of the offense from the injured Steve Yzerman.
And the Red Wings are within a goal now on that power play goal, and Colbert is trying. He finally lost it, but Gill lost his stick. Bester's lost his stick. Gill and Bester, no stick, and now Bester has a defenseman stick. Klima shoots, scores! The Red Wings have tied it.
Well, the Leafs were playing against just the Red Wings. Now they're playing against the Red Wings and 19,000 fans. Bester was knocked into the net and is a little woozy. I afraid he's talking to him. See him right there? But I afraid he's standing around with no stick. Can't block either shot. And Todd Kme and Peter Klima slaps it by him.
Watch Probert hit him here. Just before that, Probert hit Bester, shook him a little bit. Bester lost the stick. Klima jumped on the puck and tied the game.
Well, Bester was knocked flying by his old junior roommate, Bob Probert. They both played together in Brantford. Bester got up, but he looked a little stunned, and he couldn't recover fast enough, I don't think, to be as sharp as he'd like to be. And when you add that to the fact that Todd Gill lost his stick and had to play without one, we have a 4-4 game with 7:51 left in the second period, and the Leafs have their work cut out for them now. These fans have been sitting on their hands for an hour and a half, and now they are going to give the Red Wings a real boost of adrenaline.
Two very quick goals. Oates, a power play goal at 11:29. And at 12:04, Klima from Probert and Shabbat. And the game is tied again. 7:40 left in the second period. Red Wings moving up to center. That's Ashton playing it in. Bester stepping out of the net. Shoots a pass over on the boards to Terrien. His long pass nowhere near Daou, and Hallward fired it back in, and Bester stopped it. Now Salming. Starting to Gray. Gray coming out slowly. The Leafs move it up to Terrien. He backhands it in by Snips down the ice. O'Connell takes it in around the net. In a check, in for checking, but O'Connell backs up when he sees Daou come in, and Snips went over to Boo. To center. Played in by Burr. Bester out of the net. Bester reaching for it. Nearly got caught by Ashton, who just barely missed getting another one for the Red Wings. Curran takes over. Play call.
A great poke check by Alan Bester saved the Leafs from going down by one goal. Ashton's in alone on him, but Bester poke checks it right here. Had he not done that, you can see he would have been down, and Ashton would have had a gaping net to fire the puck into. A heads-up play by Alan Bester.
And around the playoff circuit tonight, St. Louis leading the series. They want to wind it up. Seems to be away on a big start. Hartford just over Montreal in the third period. And this is a tough series. Tied at 2, tied tonight at 2. In the first. And the Oilers want to wrap that one up. The Red Wings want to wrap this one up. They were trailing by 2 goals. Things were not looking too rosy, but they've got 2 goals back in a hurry. There's another shot, long one for Bester. Kern coming back. He was hit hard in there by Barr. Hill shoots it up to the right wing. Marois tried to break in from that side. Or couldn't. That's played to the blue line and out. Here comes Oates setting it up again. But Gallant missed the pass. Another penalty coming up. It's going to be against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Wings will have another man advantage. This is the Stanley Cup playoffs on CBC.
Hey, Tyler, where you today?
I'm a cardiologist.
Again?
Yeah, it's my pacemaker. It's been reacting with my game console.
No kidding.
Yeah, the other day I was rescuing my 13th damsel from the dragon's lair. freaking heart stopped. So you going to the Halloween dance on Friday?
No, I can't. I'm prepping for a colonoscopy.
Ah.
They don't want you seeing how well a 50 pounds lighter yet 37% stronger platform performs. They're nervous you'll discover how the new suspension makes bumps virtually disappear. And they sure don't want you to know how 8 more inches of legroom adds comfort and makes you one with the machine. But most of all, there's one thing they really don't want you to see.
Ski-Doo dealers invite you to discover the full 2008 Ski-Doo lineup at skidoo.com. Ski-Doo, there's nothing like it.
We're going out for a smoke. You coming? No, I'll pass. Okay.
What gives?
I'm quitting.
Quitting? But you just had one this morning.
I'm cutting back gradually with Nicorette.
That's nuts. You should be out there with them, enjoying a nice, relaxing smoke.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Now, you can cut back to quit with Nicorette. Nicorette, help crush your craving.
The best way around town is on my Yamaha.
My best farmhand? It's always my Yamaha.
I catch the big ones with my Yamaha.
For days on the trail with my son, these are our Yamahas.
What kind of Yamaha are you?
John Foose getting a penalty for slashing, and his coach, John Brophy, not happy about it. Sneps was in earlier. Offsetting penalty with Daou. But now Don Foose is in, and the Red Wings will have the man advantage. And a chance to take the lead in the hockey game. It's 4-4 now. Olczyk got the puck to the line, but not out. Another chance. This time he shoots it down the ice. Ed Olczyk scored first in a hockey game under a similar situation where the Leafs were killing a penalty. Now the Red Wings are alive with 2 quick goals in the second period to tie the Leafs. Puck in. Olczyk tried to move it out. Did not. Oates dropped it back to the line to O'Connell to Oates. Oates. Long pass the other way. Norwood shot. Booted away by Bester. Norwood again. Once more, Norwood centered it right in, and Bester knocked it away. Rebound is there, and the Leafs can't clear it out. O'Connell faked one way, then the other. Then it comes back to O'Connell. He played it ahead to Barr again. Barr gets it back to the line to Norwood. He did not shoot it from there. On the other side, it's centered again. Bester down. He saved it, and Osborne couldn't clear it out. Norwood kept it in. This time the Leafs will get the puck out and down the ice. Olczyk lifting the high one away. A lot of time gone in the penalty, though. Only 30 seconds left in the Don Foose penalty.
O'Connell's father was a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, but Adam Oates is the quarterback for the Red Wing Power Play.
There's playing it up there. Blaisdell slapped at it. Couldn't get it out. We're tied at 4. The Red Wings with a man advantage. Move it around. Outside Bester. There's Klima. Lost control of it at the side of the net. O'Connell moving up. Takes a look one way. Then the other. That's where he goes. Back to the line. Hallward played it up to Klima. And Bester gloved that one and held on to it as Probert was nailed in front of the net by Curran. They get their sticks up. Curran lost about in this series to Big Probert earlier in Toronto.
I like Curran in his own zone. Speed, he's not built for speed, but boy, when he decides to take you out, he does it, and he chose Probert. And Probert didn't like the treatment he was getting. There's Bester being knocked around a little bit. Boy, there's a stop he made. He didn't catch it, but he made it with his gloved hand. The Leaf defensemen have been in front of their own net tonight. I'm sure Alan Bester, he goes along with that change.
We look at this one tied at 4 in Washington, threatening to get right back in it. leading in the third by 3 goals. Boy, what a story New Jersey is creating this year.
Are they ever? That's right on the island. Not easy to win in there at any time, let alone in the playoffs.
Hanlon suffered a groin injury and was replaced in this period. Just after the Leafs had scored at 5:30. And he's in the Detroit dressing room at this moment. Groin injury. We hope not seriously enough to keep that competitor out for very long. Glenn Hanlon. Snap stop one at the Leafs get 3 players going. Secord, the pass on a skate from Therrien. He couldn't move on it. Secord now drops it back. That was dangerous with Chabot in there. In attack to Therrien. Therrien up there with Secord. Knocked away. And the play call is going to be a Leaf penalty after that one. And the Red Wings will get the man advantage again.
Molson Leafs hockey on Leafs TV. The Maple Leafs head to Philadelphia for a matchup with the Flyers. See it live Thursday at 7. Leafs TV. Official station, Leafs Nation.
Want to win an iPhone before it hits the stores? Then let's play Memory. Have a close look at this iPhone menu because some icons are about to disappear. Can you tell me which icon is missing? Text Sun or Clock to 84040 for your chance to win an iPhone. Have another look. Time's up. Text Sun or Clock to 84040 now. TMG subscription service, $2 Canadian per message, 4 messages per week, 16 plus only. To cancel, text STOP to 84040.
Experience the ultimate in full high definition with LG when you don't just watch it, but live it. Life's good.
We're going out for a smoke. You coming? No, thanks. I'll pass. Okay.
What gives?
I'm quitting.
Quitting? But you just had one this morning.
I'm cutting back Ragarette.
That's nuts. You should be out there with them, enjoying a nice, relaxing smoke.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Now, you can cut back to quit with Nicorette. Nicorette, help crush your craving.
Detroit got their share of penalties earlier. Now it seems as if the Leafs are taking a few. Therrien this time.
There's the hook right there. Boy, I think Probert was falling. The Red Wings had 3 penalties in a row to kill off early in this period, and now the Leafs are in the middle of killing their 3rd in a row.
And Klima is on again with Probert. Now he tried to shoot it in and hit Chabot that time. Chabot, Probert, Klima. With O'Connell coming up on the play. Puck cleared in along the boards. Leafs old check can't find it. Chabot does. Back to the net with Klima. Bester covering up. He kept it out, jamming his skate on the post. Kern was dropped in the crease area. Here's O'Connell. He has no room to shoot. Now more penalties called. In front of the net, Probert and Kern. Boy, they're going at it.
Bob Probert's going to get a cross-checking penalty. He got in behind Curran and cross-checked him as he was attempting to get right in the way of Alan Bester. And in what has been a very calm game with neither team physically involved at all, play coming up right here. You'll see Probert go back in front, and he pushes. He takes a whack in the ankle. There's the penalty right there. Bob Probert's not an easy guy to get out of there. And Alan Bester's already been knocked into his own net once. So the power play the Red Wings were enjoying is over. And with 2:57 left in the second, the score 4-4. The teams will play 4 against 4 for the next minute and 14 seconds.
And then the Leafs will have the man advantage for 46 seconds. Troy starting out. Play to the left side. Coming in as Oates. He dropped it perfectly. And that shot by Norwood testing Bester. He was outcutting the angle. And the puck came right to him as planned as far as Bester is concerned. But Norwood rifled it. And now 1 minute left of the Therrien penalty.
Well, a rather amusing story out of St. Louis. At the end of the first period, Sutter and Murdoch, Sutter the assistant coach and Murdoch the coach for the Hawks, went into the coach's room and they were so mad they slammed the door. They couldn't get it open. They couldn't get ready for the second period. They missed the first 2 minutes of the second period to have it drive a forklift through the door. So nothing is going right for the Chicago Blackhawks.
My. That's shutting the door, I'd say. Off the boards for Bester. Leafs are even strength. DeLorme missed Domfus. He got a pass up there. That's Fergus taking a shot. That hit the post and came back out behind Stefan. Here's Domfus now. To the other side and back to Domfus winding up. Coming in. Shoots. High shot and missed. Iafrate going up to Bucket. DeLorme. They're even strength at this moment. 22 seconds left in the Therrien penalty. Puck cleared down the ice. Iafrate decides he better come back and touch it. And icing is called against Detroit.
Well, Stefan's only had 3 shots, and he's been in there for well over 10 minutes. I'm sure he's not in the mood. He knew he wasn't going to play, and he missed that one. It seemed to go off his stick and then off the post. Watch this. This puck's in if it wasn't for the goal post. And Stefan looks handcuffed on it. And then this one, Domfus drives over his head. Oh, and deflected off the defenseman's stick. It's very difficult for a goalie to get psyched up the way you have to get psyched up to play the way you can when you're sitting there enjoying the game, and all of a sudden, in you have to go.
He came in at 5:30 of this period when Hanlon suffered a groin injury. He is still in the dressing room. 4-4 the score with 1:50 left of the period. And Therrien gets set to come out of the penalty box. Now he is out and on the ice. And the Leafs have 44 seconds with this man advantage. A chance for the Leafs to take a lead going into the third. Osborne moving up with Therrien in front. And that pass went behind everybody and out. Down the ice. Leafs come back. Salming is there. Moved it ahead to DeGray. 24 seconds left in the Probert penalty. Salming will bring the puck out to center. Drops it back now to Olczyk. Olczyk shoots it in to the corner, and the Wings are back first. Hallward slapped a high one that got by and out to center. Detroit penalty just about over. Osborne played it ahead. Burr intercepted. Coming back in, but it's knocked away, and Probert is out of the penalty box. The Wings are at full center. 4-4, and Probert comes in. Probert along the boards. Tough to push off the puck. Burr centered it. And Domfus got back. Coming to center, Blaisdell for Toronto. 3 Red Wings standing along the line. Here's his shot. That hit Snap. Domfus White got a good one away. Marois from his knees played it ahead. But Fergus was trapped offside. And the play is called. I wonder if Calgary will wind it up tonight. Okenlube has scored.
Boy, he's a hot commodity in the playoffs as well as during the season. What a great year he had. Jersey added another one to get up 3-1 against the Islanders. The Islanders, remember, tied the series with an overtime victory on Sunday night. I guess that series has had the most close games of them all here in round 1.
This one is close. Dying seconds of the second period. It's tied at 4-0. Tried to steal it. The Leafs get it out. Barr lost his stick, and Domfus coming up there across the line. 10 seconds to play in a period with that shot. Stopped by Stefan. Here's Gillow intercepting. Gill coming in. Fergus scores! 1 second left when Fergus ripped that patented high shot. And the crowd here at the Joe Louis Arena stunned a little bit. With only 1 second left on the clock, the Leafs take a 5-4 lead.
Well, the Leafs, unbelievable. I mean, they looked like they had the Red Wings down. Then they lost that. The Red Wings seemed to come on, and then with 1 second to go, and I can tell you, it is a killer to give a goal up in the last second of a period. A very bad play by Jim Nill, who just tossed it into the middle, and Tom Fergus, with one of the best wrist shots in the National League, showed us that Gaffin had no hope.
This is a beautiful shot by Fergus. Gill brought it in. It looked like the clock was going to run out. You see Gill 23, but then Fergus takes it, ripped it high. I don't think Stephen saw it, Harry.
He heard it. He didn't see it.
The shots were 10-7 in a period for Detroit. Well, the Leafs lead by a goal. The score of the end of the second period. Toronto 5, Detroit 4.
It's been 30 years since he first set skates on the ice.
Hi, hockey fans!
Now he's back. 11 original episodes shown during the first intermission of Leafs games on Leafs TV. See Peter Puck for the first time in over 30 years. Catch him only on Leafs TV.
I'm Peter Puck.
Are you ready to change your life, look younger, and be stronger?
I went from a size 38 to a size 30 and lost over 70 pounds.
You too can get remarkable results with Bowflex Home Gyms. All it takes is one simple workout, 20 minutes 3 times a week.
When they say you can work out 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, they mean exactly that. You've got to get this DVD. It'll change your life.
Call now for a free DVD that shows how you can get great results with Bowflex Home Gyms.
I gave all of my fat clothes to my fat friends.
Only Bowflex Home Gyms have Power Rod technology, the secret to getting a strong, sculpted body fast.
I am not embarrassed to take my shirt off. I look better. I feel better. My wife gives me that little wink every now and then.
Own your very own Bowflex Home Gym for no money down and low monthly payments. Be strong, be fit, be Bowflex. Call or go online now for your free DVD that tells you all about Bowflex Home Gyms. Call now.
LG. Don't just watch it, live it. And now, with a chance to win your share of a $5,000 shopping spree, life's...
I think modern technology and personal fantasy make a dangerous cocktail. While more thrills than life normally offers, Frank's Red Hot Caesar Spicer provides a full flavor Caesar that will thrill you in ways private videos never can. A thrill a bite.
Molson Leafs hockey on Leafs TV. The Maple Leafs head to Philadelphia for a matchup with the Flyers. See it live Thursday at 7. Leafs TV, official station, Leafs Nation.
Well, a big goal from Tom Fergus with just 1 second left in the second period. The Leafs have scored 5 goals on just 12 shots. Glenn Hanlon is auditioning for the Mormon Tabernacle Choir after being injured there in the second period. Mr. Neal had a way of making sure we found out about that. Greg Steffen is in goal. A very big goal from Tom Fergus at this point, obviously.
Oh, 1959 of that period, 1 second left, and Tommy Fergus with his patented, there's a guy that gets the puck. We talked about Wendell's shot, but Tom Fergus, I think, probably had one of the best wrist shots, and with 1 second remaining, that was a huge goal for us.
Alan Bester is at his acrobatic best. He's a young man that came up at the same time Ken Reggett did, and it really became quite a bit of a battle between the two of them because they were of the same age, and maybe it was a little difficult for one or both of them at the time, but Alan's playing very well here.
Yeah, Alan is. As you mentioned, we call him Ernie. Ernie is his nickname because he's after Ernie Douglas. Ernie Douglas from My Three Sons. Yeah, there you go.
Now we know exactly how old both of us are.
So Ernie is playing very well in the nets, and Al was obviously a small goaltender, but very acrobatic, and oftentimes he held us in games when we probably shouldn't have been in. But he was playing very well that night, on a night where we really needed a good sort of goaltender.
Now, Mark, you bridge a couple of eras here in Maple Leaf history. You're going to later play on a line with Eddie Olczyk and Gary Lehman and have great success. The line of Zezelberg and Osborne is part of Maple Leaf lore, it seems now. But as you look back at April 12th and this game and the tape that we got to you, had you watched yourself in a whole game and actually sat down and watched Mark Osborne play?
No, not until I looked at that tape. And I do have a lot of tapes at home in the basement, but haven't really thrown them in the VCR and taken a look at them. But
did you bring the neighbors over to prove that you knew that played back then, or
no? No, they've known about that already. I've got little girls that tell them all about it. No, I think I was surprised. You're very critical when you watch yourself play, and I don't really enjoy watching myself play. I think in seeing some of the things that I did on the ice during that particular playoff series, I would have pulled myself off the ice a long time ago. And some of the things that you look at and that you're critical now, that when you're no longer playing and you think, man, I can't believe that I did that or I played like that. That guy's brutal. Probably a lot of people are echoing those same sentiments.
No, not one of them here, let me tell you that. But it is interesting to watch yourself, isn't it? It gives you a different perspective.
Oh, it sure does. Yeah. It sure gives you a lot of perspective. Do as I say, not as I do. But obviously there's some things that you pick up and say, wow, I actually did do that. So, but it is. It's not easy to watch yourself. It's much easier and appreciate how some of the other players do play.
Well, we're enjoying watching you play here in Game 5 a lot more than possibly we wanted to watch that team in Game 4. So we're enjoying this one because at the end of 2 periods of play, the Leafs own the lead thanks to a last-second goal from Tom Fergus to end the second period. And you're watching Molson Canadian Maple Leaf Classics on Leafs TV.
Hey, Tyler, where you been all day?
I'm a cardiologist.
Again?
Yeah, it's my pacemaker. It's been reacting with my game console.
No kidding.
Yeah, the other day I was rescuing my 13th damsel from the dragon's lair. Freaking heart stopped. So you going to the Halloween dance on Friday?
No, I can't. I'm prepping for a colonoscopy.
Ah.
They don't want you seeing how well a 50 pounds lighter yet 37% stronger platform performs. They're nervous you'll discover how the new suspension makes bumps virtually disappear. And they sure don't want you to know how 8 more inches of legroom adds comfort and makes you one with the machine. But most of all, there's one thing they really don't want you to see.
Ski-Doo dealers invite you to discover the full 2008 Ski-Doo lineup at skidoo.com. Ski-Doo, there's nothing like it.
We're going out for a smoke. You coming? No, thanks. I'll pass. Okay.
What gives?
I'm quitting.
Quitting? But you just had one this morning.
I'm cutting back gradually with Nicorette.
That's nuts. You should be out there with them, enjoying a nice, relaxing smoke.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Now, you can cut back to quit with Nicorette.